live events. Cage Warriors, World Conference, FIGHT during FC, FFC, APFC,
This is a special presentation from UFC Fight Pass. Step into our world at UFCFightPass.com.
All right, here we go in the main event. Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. Now it's time for the co-main event in the light heavyweight division. Jan Blachowicz taking on Carlos Ulberg. Now we move on to the welterweight division. Gunny Nelson taking on Kevin, the Trailblazer Holland. Now we move on to the women's strawweight division. In the red corner, Meatball Molly McCann taking on Alexia Thainara. All right, next up in the lightweight division, Jordan Buchanan taking on Chris Duncan. Starting things off in the featherweight division, London Zone, Nathaniel Wood taking on Morgan Shire. Now we move on to the featured prelim in the lightweight division. Jai Herbert, the Black Country Banger, taking on Chris Padilla. Now we go down to the flyweight division. Loney Kavanaugh taking on Felipe Dos Santos. Now moving on to the heavyweight division. Marcin Tybura taking on Mick Parkin. Moving on to the middleweight division. Christopher Leroy Duncan taking on Andre Puliev. Next up in the strawweight division, Shauna Bannon taking on Pooja Tomar. All right, moving on to the bantamweight division, Nathan Fletcher taking on Cowlin Loughran. Let's get things started in the lightweight division. Guram Kutateladze taking on Kaue Fernandez.
Well, there it is. UFC London. The Octagon touches down in the UK tomorrow. Hey, everybody, I'm TJ DeSantis, tasked with a pretty great chore to get you caught up with all the stars that maybe you haven't looked at their back catalog. As I mentioned, UFC hits London tomorrow. It's going to be a phenomenal night of action. And if you don't know, a lot of the people that you just saw facing off with one another, they kind of got their start right here on UFC Fight Pass. So we're going to take a look at that. I should remind you, though, speaking of England and UK promotions, Cage Warriors just wrapped up, and we're always doing big things with Cage Warriors. Hang on, let me press this button. There we go. Hold on. It's going to work eventually. Maybe it's not. It's going to, I think. Why does this do this to me? Let's do this right here. Maybe we're not. We'll look into that later. All right, let's jump into Nathan Fletcher, 1-0 inside the UFC. He's got a big fight coming up tomorrow. I mentioned Cage Warriors. Cage Warriors always doing big things. And Fletcher, he went 8-1 in Cage Warriors. So tough road to the Octagon, but he handled it quite well. So let's jump into our first fighter from this London card, Nathan Fletcher, right here.
23 years old is Fletcher, 36 is the veteran Brulon. Height, pretty much a wash. 5-0, perfect, is the man from Liverpool. 10-3 is the Belgian fighter. Both men have finished 5 of their professional contests, and that's a 100% finish rate, as we can see, for Nathan Fletcher. Let's throw it to our MC in the cage, Mr. Hal Chaplin, and he'll get this bantamweight contest underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest takes place in the Cage Warriors Bantamweight division and is brought to you by Apex Fightwear. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Official weight, 135.7 pounds. He's fighting out of Liverpool in England and brings with him to the cage an unblemished professional record of 5 wins. Introducing Nathan Fletcher! Standing opposite him in the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. Official weight, 135.5 1 pounds. He's fighting out of Brussels in Belgium via France and brings with him to the cage a professional record of 10 wins with 3 defeats. Introducing to you, Brian Brutal Boulon. Your referee in charge when the action begins, Mr. Daniel Movahedi.
The gentleman, Daniel Movahedi, about to get this one underway. Nathan Fletcher in the grey, Brian Boulon in the black with red and white trim.
Brian Boulon coming out orthodox, which is a surprise. Normally you're a southpaw to start with.
Yeah, immediately Fletcher catching that kick, controlling, almost looked like he froze for a second in midair and was able to redirect his opponent to the mat, straight in the side control. Boulon doing a good job so far of getting back into half guard, but this is not where he wants to be.
No, definitely not. He's already in a defensive mindset, and we're only 30 seconds into the first round. He's working to get his guard back here, or maybe even a Kimura on the far side, but still, they're going to be defensive solutions to a problem that he doesn't want to have right now.
Yeah, fair play to him, though. He's managed to get back to a closed guard position here. Looks like he's trying to sneak out the back way and the whole time shuffling backwards to get his back up against that fence. That's where he wants to be. That's where he's got the best chance of getting back to his feet. And of course, you've got to be careful of the back attack. This is what we know Fletcher loves to do. We've seen him do it, I believe, in 4 of his 5 wins, all come from rear naked choke. This is his position. You see how he ties up that near side leg. That allows him now, and you might see him switch to a far side hook. He'll use that hook to attack the far leg and then sit backwards, just like this. Now, if he sits backwards towards his left side, he's going to end up with Boulon on top of him and in a great position to attack the rear naked choke.
And that blood that we can see on Boulon was from those 3 solid ground strikes that he landed when he was trapped up against the fence. I mean, you know, not only a physical specimen in his takedowns, but also in his punching power. This is good control so far. Boulon looks a little frustrated.
Boulon doing a good job of opening up the grip. That's exactly what he wants to do, and facing his opponent. That's fantastic. You know, he's got to take a small victory. Just having his back sniffed at by his opponent and being able to escape that position is pretty significant, especially early in the fight.
You know, you don't always like to make these comparisons, but when you've got the young lad coming out of next gen, and he's an absolute menace in these tight positions and taking people's backs, and you're hearing the rumors that he might be the next Paddy Pimblett, you can't really ignore them for that long.
Absolutely. I mean, the consistency of the rear naked chokes is, you know, it's going to stand out. What is it, 5 fights, 3 rear naked chokes and an arm triangle? And punching power when he's on the ground, as well as we've seen already.
Yeah, and in his last fight, where he's able to get that RNC and where he's able to get that back position is when his opponent tries to stand up. So Boulon's definitely going to have watched his fights. He knows that he has to look out for that. He's tying up a Kimura on the left-hand side of Fletcher, which is the second time he's gone for it. It's just potentially not the smartest move when you're trying to stop someone from taking your back. But he's going to try and force himself to the fence there and try and get that arm exposed. Not going to get a submission here, but it might force Fletcher to release that back attack. So, you know, but you always risk, whenever you go for this Kimura, it's a high risk, high reward. And when you have someone as dangerous as Fletcher, you have to be very careful.
And opting to stay on that Kimura has also now found him in bottom position, which is definitely where he doesn't want to be, because you know that Nathan Fletcher will work out of this position and find himself into a more advantageous one. And here's the back again.
And this is it. This is where he finds the back as the opponent tries to stand back up. He's got one hook in here and he's opened up that right-hand side. So he has the opportunity. Expect to see him try and get that seatbelt control, that over-under. This is a very bad position for Boulon. If he can get an over-under here, expect to possibly see him switch to a body triangle. Nicely done by Boulon, removing that hook, but just on him like a backpack. Into that position, he's got an inside body triangle here, so you often see the body triangle with that, the locked off on leg on the outside. He's opted to put this on the inside here, which actually can be a very strong position. He's on the back, now expect to see him work in that neck. When you're standing up, it can feel like you're in a stronger position because you can move and maybe slam your opponent, but actually this is a bad position to be in because you're having to worry about standing up, you're having to worry about balance when you should be just focusing.
Oh, beautiful elbow. Fletcher's looking in the rear naked choke. This could be all over.
Oh, wow.
After submission. Unbelievable.
Yeah, just fantastically done. As I was saying, people feel comfortable when they're standing up and they've got someone on their back. Fletcher did exactly what I thought he'd do, which is wait for Boulon to try and stand up. He takes the back straight off of that. He was in the standing position. Boulon's worried too much about what he's doing next. He sinks the forearm under the neck and he gets that tap.
But let's take a look at the replay, though. It was an elbow that started the sequence. It just gave Boulon something to think about. And all of a sudden, Fletcher has snatched the neck. There's the elbow over the top.
And straight in under the arm. Yeah,
beautiful.
Really nice work. You know, mixing your strikes with your submissions, you know, it's always a benefit, especially when you're on your opponent's back and they don't know where the attack's coming from. You know, that's a really nice rear naked choke setup, coupled with the elbow to to get the exposure of the neck.
A mature performance from a young man just 23 years of age. And hey, that was the first fight on his new Cage Warriors contract. What a way to kick things off for Nathan Fletcher. Let's throw it to our MC in the cage, Mr. Hal Chaplin, and he will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Daniel Moverhead, he calls a stop to this contest after 4 minutes and 16 seconds of the very first round, declaring your winner by way of rear naked choke in the blue corner, Nathan Fletcher!
There he is, Nathan Fletcher, getting it done. A Cage Warriors standout. He actually earned gold there as well. And that reminds me to tell you about everything we got going on over at UFC Fight Pass. Cage Warriors just wrapped up, but still more headed your way. Shooto Brazil, LFA, Fury FC 103 on Sunday. What a better way to close the weekend out than by watching live mixed martial arts. And if you're like, I don't have Fight Pass, don't worry. We've got a deal for you. Save 35% off the annual price when you sign up right now. $61.99 for 12 months of UFC Fight Pass. Not a better deal in combat sports. I promise you that. Hey, everybody. TJ DeSantis hanging out here on this Friday, getting you ready for the UFC as it hits London tomorrow. We already saw Nathan Fletcher. Cage Warriors standout. Mentioned Cage Warriors just wrapped up. If you missed it, by the way, available for you anytime over on UFC Fight Pass. But we're taking a look at some of the stars that will shine tomorrow in the octagon. Some of them even fight one another. And talking about Cage Warriors, let's take a look at a block of champions that they've produced over the years. And again, a lot will be in action. All of these guys will be in action tomorrow when the octagon hits London. So let's jump into it. Let's go back and look at Cage Warriors' glory attained by some of the stars of UFC London.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds scheduled for the Cage Warriors bantamweight title. Scoring this fight, our 3 cage-side judges are Mark Collette, Ben Cartledge, and David Letherby. And when the action begins, the referee in charge, Mark Goddard. Coming live from Indigo at the O2 in London, England, this is Cage Warriors, and we have the world watching. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, he holds a professional record of 9 wins, 1 loss. This Sambo fighter stands 5'7" tall. He weighed in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of Geneva, Switzerland, Marco, Agent 47, Kovacevic. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist holds a professional record of 10 wins, 3 losses. Standing 5'7" tall, he weighed in at 135 pounds. Fighting out of London, England, Nathaniel, the Prospect World.
Okay guys, you understand the rules you're fighting under, listen to me at all times, keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's do this.
5 5-minute rounds in the Cage Warriors bantamweight division. The big gold belt is on the line. Nathaniel, the Prospect Wood, in the short black trunks. Marko Kovacevic in the blue board shorts. We are underway, and Kovacevic comes out swinging.
Wow, fireworks from the get-go here. And I don't think we're going to need those 5 rounds, to be honest.
Something tells me you're right, Nick. Both these men, known as finishers, 6 submissions, 2 TKOs for the man from Switzerland. 6 TKOs and 2 submissions for Nathaniel Wood. Wood really sitting down on his punches there, but Kovacevic driving him into the cage.
Yeah, Kovacevic really coming out and trying to punch the buck off Nathaniel Wood. But both fighters so experienced.
Of course, Wood is the home fighter here, and we've talked a lot about him and what this win could do for him. But you know, Kovacevic is in the same position, a win here, the Cage Warriors bantamweight title, and he's on Dream Street.
Yeah, he really is. But he's got Nathaniel Wood in front of him, which is no walkover indeed. Kovacevic trying to get in for the takedown there, secures it against the cage in front of our commentating station. And Nathaniel Wood doing a very good job of posting out on his arms, trying to get his back on the cage so he can stand up again.
Kovacevic got a good grip on his man here.
Yeah.
Wood, though, as you say, Nick, able to use that cage to get back to his feet.
Yeah,
looking to turn his man now. Nice elbow from Kovacevic there as he breaks out of the clinch. Seen that a lot tonight.
As you can see, it's a big shift in intensity and tempo when we come down from the light heavyweight division down to the bantamweight. It's really, really fast action right now.
So many great bantamweight fighters over the years. Need to look back at the likes of Miguel Torres and Uriah Faber and the current crop, Dominic Cruz, Cody Garbrandt, TJ Dillashaw. Such an action-packed division.
Absolutely.
2 men looking to maybe one day have their names mentioned in the same breath as those legends, Nathaniel Wood and Marko Kovacevic in the cage now. Of course, the last Cage Warriors bantamweight champion was Brett Johns, currently competing in the UFC. That big gold belt certainly opens a lot of doors. And looking to step through one.
Oh, nice
Marko
spinning
Kovacevic.
back fist there from Kovacevic, who is showing crisp striking tonight.
Nathaniel Wood looking to counter punch here.
Oh, nice step and elbow there by Nathaniel Wood. But Kovacevic not backing down. On the contrary, he's just pressing Wood throughout the cage here. And really putting the pressure on Wood.
Nice knee to the body there and an elbow behind it. Oh, it's the right hand from Nathaniel Wood. He's rocked Kovacevic here. Kovacevic tying up. But that right hand certainly stung him. Wood looking to find some room.
Oh, nice punches the left hand there.
Big left hand. Nathaniel Wood's got his man on the back foot here, Nick.
Yeah, he needs to separate here from the clinch. Just keep punching. He's got him hurt badly.
Oh, huge right hand, my goodness.
Oh, he's out on his feet.
It's over. Unbelievable.
Wow, what a finish by Nathaniel Wood.
He is a prospect, no more. Nathaniel Wood has done it. He's made it. He's the new Cage Warriors bantamweight champion of the world.
What an incredible finish. What a flurry of punches. And a great ending to an incredible night of fights.
You couldn't write drama like this. And that is why mixed martial arts is the best sport in the world. It was neck and neck, down to the wire. I may even go as far as to suggest that Kovacevic was getting the better of a lot of the exchanges, but that one shot that rocked him.
Yeah, he hurt him with that left hand, full up with the right, and then he just finished off with that almost 10-punch combination of a flurry to secure himself the bantamweight title of the world here in Cage Warriors.
And Kovacevic just being checked over by medical professionals, and great show of class there from Nathaniel Wood. Brad Pickett. We see old Nathaniel Wood's corner just trying to console Kovacevic there. Real class acts of these guys. but Nathaniel Wood, and you can see how proud Brad Prickett looks there of his prodigy.
Understandably enough, if you have a guy you've been following for a long time, you get proud and maybe a tear in your eye when something like this happens. Wow, what a night. What a finish. I'm so excited to see that replay. That was quite the flurry.
Nathaniel Wood just celebrating here. Let's take a look at some of the action. They're already on wobbly legs here, Nick. The left hand and a huge right behind it. And Nick, every shot he threw was landing.
Yeah, it really was.
No wasted effort there.
We see it again. Left hand, right. Boom. That's all she wrote.
Out before he hit the ground was Kovacevic.
Beautiful finish by Nathaniel Wood.
And as the crowd here celebrate, we'll throw this one to Andy Friedlander in the cage, who'll make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes and 41 seconds of round number 1, declaring the winner by knockout and new Cage Warriors bantamweight champion of the world, Nathaniel Wood.
Huge win for Nathaniel Wood. He gets the gold belt around his waist. Many doors will be open for the prospect. He's with Andy Friedlander, who will get his thoughts on an emphatic victory here at Cage Warriors 84.
From a prospect to a contender to a champion, Nathaniel Wood, that must feel incredible.
It feels amazing, man. It's all that hard work, all that training, it's paid off.
It has certainly paid off in style. He started incredibly strongly. You fired back with a number of hands. I think it was a left hand that might have rocked him, and then you just poured it on. You wanted the finish in front of your home crowd.
Yeah, Marco is an incredibly tough opponent, There was no one more deserving to fight for a world title but him, When Cage Warriors said that was my opponent, I thought, shit, man, that's a tough fight, But no, I've got the training partners, Brad Pickett, Ashley Grimshaw, my dad, Mickey Pappas. I've got the training team. I will take anyone in the world.
It's good to hear that. I just want to jump in that it was in Liverpool, I think, Graham Boylan offered you. It was round about 8 weeks ago, off the back of a success against the UFC veteran in Vaughan Lee, that you were offered a chance to fight. Have you been out of camp? Did you get any rest, or did you just steam on through?
No rest at all, I'm not going to turn down a world title fight like this, If my body's able to get in here, then you best believe I'm getting in here. But listen, I just want to say thank you to everyone that's come here tonight. I honestly hope I did you all proud, I'm pleased to represent people in my own hometown. It means the world to me.
You said something incredibly interesting before this fight, which is nobody is coming to London and taking it away from you. But I can tell you from my research, you were the first Londoner to hold this coveted Cage Warriors title. Ladies and gentlemen, your new bantamweight champion of the world, Nathaniel Wood. Congratulations, sir.
Nathaniel Wood there celebrating a hard-earned and well-deserved victory. Nick, a fairy tale ending to a fairy tale night of fights.
Yeah, it's been incredible. We had some really, really great fights tonight. We had Alexander Jacobs and Tom Green, Iman Wheeler, great fight as well. And then we have this textbook storyline finish in this fight with Nathaniel Wood and Kovacevic.
Craig White pulling off another upset victory.
Yes.
To open our main card tonight. Matt Iman and Brad Wheeler going back and forth in what was an absolute slugfest, a real war on the feet and on the ground. Both men will be having to remember that fight by, I would imagine, tomorrow morning, and it'll probably be a headache in Brad Wheeler's case and some sore elbows in Matt Inman's. Of course, Kenneth Berg with a really slick submission, and Norman Parisi not able to get the victory here tonight, and Marco Kovacevic and Nathaniel Wood putting on a great few minutes of action. Nathaniel Wood with a huge victory.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds for the Cage Warriors. bantamweight title. Scoring this fight, our three cage-side judges are Ben Cartledge, David Letherby, and Mark Collette. And when the action begins, the referee in charge, Mr. Mark Goddard. Coming live from Indigo at the O2 Arena in London, England. This is Cage Warriors, and we have the world watching. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He holds a perfect professional record of 7 wins, no losses. Standing 5'9" inches tall, he weighed in at 134 pounds. Fighting out of Blaenavon, Wales, the challenger, Josh Crazy Horse Reed. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 11 wins and 3 losses. He stands 5'7" inches tall and weighed in at 135 pounds, fighting out of London, England, the reigning, defending Cage Warriors bantamweight champion of the world, Nathaniel the Prospect Wood.
Okay, gentlemen, you understand the rules you're fighting under. Listen to me at all times. Keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. Touch them up. Let's do it.
Referee Mark Goddard with final instructions there. 5-minute rounds for the big gold belt in the Cage Warriors bantamweight division. Josh Crazy Horse Reed, the challenger, in the black with white trim. Nathaniel the Prospect Wood in the yellow. No touch of gloves. We are underway.
Really interesting target zone on that first kick from Wood, right down at the ankle. Kicks the leg out from Reed again.
Trying to take his man off balance is the Prospect.
Oh, he really is going after that calf and that ankle. 3 times now already.
Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer privileged to call the action for you from cage side here at the Indigo at the O2. And Nathaniel Wood setting out his stall early here, Josh. Trying to stymie the movement of his opponent there by taking out that lead leg early.
Yeah, but immediately the return kick from Reed has already shown some significant damage on the leg of Wood, and they're engaging early. Wood takes a short shot on the inside as he tries to close the distance.
Oh, Reed landing some big punches. Nathaniel Wood taking him on the chin. It's a shootout in the first round.
Yeah, look how tight Wood's keeping his guard though, staying really nice and composed, but he's in a huge shot.
Oh, Reed absolutely launching everything he's got into these punches.
Wood has
How
got
long can Wood stay up?
He can't, he's trying to tie up the upper body, but he's got to get in on the hips to slow
Josh
this
Reed,
down.
unlaunching right hands and a left, pounding away at his man. My God, taking a close look at this one. Reed on spaghetti legs.
Josh Reed is throwing everything at this. He's going for the finish or bust. Wood has got to do something to slow the pace down here. He keeps trying to tie up upstairs.
What is Nathaniel Wood made of? This is incredible. Reed, it's been rocked.
And then we go.
Wood on the inside.
Body lock now for Wood. He's slowing this down, getting the head on the inside. Good short shots.
How much power does Nathaniel Wood have in his hands? This is insane.
How is his chin still there? Good knees here. Reed is going to be in trouble. Oh, he lands the left
back. He's still in the fight. It's anyone's game.
Look at these uppercuts. I am amazed that Wood did not try and take longer to try and compose himself here.
And now it's Nathaniel Wood going on the attack, firing in combinations. Reed out and explaining that. Wow! Unbelievable! I have never seen anything like it. That was absolutely insane.
How did that
the best first round in Cage Warriors history?
How did he stay on his feet? How did he come back from that?
Josh Reed, Nathaniel Wood, take a big long bow. That was incredible.
What? Are you trying to blow?
Let's take a look back at some of the action while we catch our breath here in the commentary position.
Well, let's have a look. So, this is Wood pushing forward for the finish. Mark Goddard had no choice but to rescue Josh Reed. You know, he was either going to get the finish or be completely exhausted. And, you know, how... I mean, you can't imagine Wood to come out of that the way he did.
People will ask Josh why it was stopped here in Nathaniel Wood's favour and why it wasn't stopped earlier on. Well, the key term we're looking for is intelligent defence. Nathaniel Wood was bobbing, weaving.
Yeah, he was trying to tie up. He was trying to get some sort of defence back, and there you just saw Reed drop his hands and turn away.
And that's exactly what the referee was looking for. It's not enough to drop your hands. It's not enough to just even stand there and take those shots in your hands. You have to be looking to improve in some way. That's what we saw from Nathaniel Wood, and perhaps not so much for Reed. And of course, some fans here at cage side getting very invested in the moment, and Reed and Wood both asking their fans for a bit of respect and a bit of calm here to allow Nathaniel Wood to celebrate this victory, and gracious in defeat is Reed as well. And I think the corner of Josh Reed are just telling their man, hold your head up high. And that's some great advice. We'll throw this one to Andy Friedlander in the cage to make it official. My goodness, what a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has scored a stop to this contest at 2 minutes and 19 seconds of round number 1, declaring the winner by TKO, and still the Cage Warriors Bantamweight Champion, Nathaniel Wood.
And still the Cage Warriors Bantamweight Champion of the world, Nathaniel the Prospect Wood. Surely the prospect no longer. What a performance in his first title defense. He's with Andy Friedlander in the cage.
Nathaniel Wood, and still the Bantamweight Champion. It's got to sound sweet. It's got to sound sweet, but you two are both gunslingers. You stood at either side of the cage. You really just shot out what you had, and it was the last man standing.
Yeah, you know, Josh is a fucking incredible opponent. You know, as much stuff as I say online about he's not my caliber, etc. 7-0 undefeated, 3-0 on Cage Warriors. The guy is a beast. You know, he's got a big army with him. You know, look, you can fucking hear him. So credit to him, man. I think he must have already had me, because I heard Mark saying, defend yourself, and yeah, respect to him, man.
Now, we've seen how powerful your hands can be on other people, but now we know how well your chin stands up to that kind of firestorm. You must feel at least satisfied that you managed to stand up through that barrage, because it was close.
Yeah, I don't know. He's caught me with something, and it rocked me, you know. I don't know if he caught me on the head, because I feel like my chin's fine, but he caught me with something. I was like, wait, what the fuck happened there? So, you know, but listen, I'm training with beasts, man. You know, these guys are beating me up and training, so the fight's easy.
Now, if we can just turn yourself there to the screen. He had you at several occasions, but without question, you had a champion's heart, a champion's chin. Talk us through the finish, because I thought it was a right hand that caught him, that rocked him, and at that point, it was just pouring on the pressure.
Yeah, you know, like, yeah, I've got to watch it now. As I say, he caught me with something and was just throwing bombs, but I've looked at his game plan, and I know that when Josh is throwing, his head's where it is. He doesn't move his head. So I knew that if I just throw back, we're slinging, you know, so one of us is going to catch you, and look, I'm here to fucking put on a show for everyone, so...
Well, have a look at your handiwork there, You're going to watch it in slow-mo.
Yeah, look at that. Boom. I'm a Londoner, that's what we do.
Now, you always said that defending the title was as important as winning the title, and also you said it was going to take a real hero to come and take it off you in front of a lot of your home fans. You must feel very, very satisfied with that. And I want to ask, not only how you're feeling about the performance, but where do you want to go to next?
Oh, you know, like, as I said, Cage Warriors was a great promotion, you know. A lot of people win the belt and sit on the belt and wait for something else. I wanted to get back in it in my hometown and put on a show for everyone. But now I am going to have the rest of the year off. You know, I've been dieting all year round. My family, my girlfriend, they're sick and tired of me getting miserable. So You know, whatever comes. People are saying UFC, but if they don't come, Cage Warriors, put me on next year, London, and I'll smash someone else up.
2017 has been lovely to you. You, with those performances, have been absolutely terrific to us. Thank you, Nathaniel. A pleasure to watch you. And you might need to change the Prospect moniker now. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner and still the Cage Warriors Bantamweight champion, Nathaniel Wood.
For our main event of the evening, 30 years old is Luca the Duke Iovine. 24 is Nathaniel Wood. Nathaniel Wood, the taller man, 5'7" to his opponent's 5'4". Very similar records, 12-1 for Iovine, 12-3 for the Prospect, and it's the champion who is the betting favourite.
MMA fans around the world, this is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds for the Cage Warriors Bantamweight title. This bout has been brought to you by ISO Sport. The cage side judges this evening, Ben Cartledge, Mark Collette and David Letherby. And when the action begins, the referee in charge, Mark Goddard. Coming live from Indigo at the O2 in London, England. This is Cage Warriors, and we have the world watching. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the challenger. This mixed martial artist holds a professional record of 12 wins and a single loss. Standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, he weighed in at 134.4 pounds. Fighting out of Bergamo, Italy, Luca Duke Iovine. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, the champion, who holds a professional record of 12 wins and 3 losses. This mixed martial artist stands at 5 feet 7 inches tall and weighed in at 134.4 pounds. Fighting out of London, England, the reigning, defending Cage Warriors Bantamweight champion of the world, Nathaniel the Prospect Wood.
On the rules of fight, remember, you listen to me at all times, you keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's do this.
The best referee in the business today, Mark Goddard, with the final instructions, the lovely Edith, letting us know it's the first of 5 5-minute rounds if they need them in the Cage Warriors Bantamweight division. Nathaniel the Prospect Wood in the black and white trim, Luca Duke Iovine also in the black and white trim, and we are underway.
Oh, good strong kick early from Wood. If you hadn't noticed from the tail of the tape, you will have at the stare down there. Nathaniel Wood is considerably taller than Iovine.
And that right low kick from Wood already causing some problems for the Duke.
Yeah, you know what? It's placed so low down towards the ankle. Usual target is the thigh, the upper thigh. He's going down to the calf and the ankle. It's really sucking the base away from the Italian early.
Brad Wharton and Josh Palmer privileged to call the action here. It's the main event of Cage Warriors Super Saturday. Nathaniel the Prospect Wood, Luca the Duke Iovine. Unbelievable!
Wow, I barely saw that connect. I was just going to say, you've got to watch the hooks when you get in the pocket with Nathaniel Wood, and look at that.
One right, good night, and still Nathaniel the Prospect Wood rules London once again.
Wow, I need to see a replay of that one because it was lightning fast from Nathaniel Wood when he got in the exchange. He was making the Italian worry with those low kicks for sure, but he's so tight and technical with his hooks when he gets inside the pocket. You know, that's what he used to do the damage against Josh Reed in his first title defense, and that's about as clinical as you can get for a second title defense here tonight.
Somebody tell this kid he's not on the clock. That was phenomenal. One shot, clean as you like. Josh, let's take a look back.
There we go. So, oh, the left hook.
There's the left hand.
Left hand right across the jaw. Here we go. So in the pocket, comes up,
Just swings over the top. It's textbook striking. Just throw those combinations, keep throwing those combinations, no matter what's coming back at you. And there we go. The Italian left his right hand down. The left hook finds the mark.
Great stoppage there from Mark Goddard, immediately in to protect the fighter. And that is all she wrote. What a way to end Super Saturday. What an evening. What a champion. Nathaniel Wood victorious again. So for one final time, we'll throw it to our MC, Andy Friedlander. And once again, he will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Goddard calls a stop to this contest at 50 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by knockout and still the Cage Warriors Bantamweight Champion of the world, Nathaniel the Prospect Wood!
That belt is his. Come and take it. Bantamweights of the world, take note. Nathaniel Wood is here to stay, and he'll join my colleague Josh Palmer for some words in the cage.
I'm here with our bantamweight champion, Nathaniel Wood. Mr. Wood, what an emphatic victory for you there. What is it going to take to get this belt off you?
First off, I want to just say we lost a beautiful woman last week, Marina Papas. You know, I just want to send all my love, you know, fucking Mickey, Christian, Ellie, we're all here for you, you know. God, rest in peace to Marina, you know.
Just sorry for the language to the folks at home, but Nathaniel, every time you step in this cage, it's an exciting fight. You had a tough match with a guy like Luca tonight. How important was it for you to win decisively?
I can't even put into terms how important that fight was for me, you know. But I keep saying they're not on my level, you know? You can bring them in, you can bring whoever you want across the world, they're not on my level.
If you could just take a look at the screen for us, here down in the corner, you'll get a replay of your knockout. If you can just talk us through the left hand, or not. So, look, what's it like to have this support? Because this crowd, they just seem to get behind you.
It's crazy, you know? I can't do it without them, honestly, you know? This support follows me everywhere, and, you know, I love every one of you.
So, look, you won the belt, you defended the belt twice. What's next for you?
I have no idea, you know? Whoever you want me to knock out next.
You want to see him knock someone else out? Ladies and gentlemen, your bantamweight champion, Nathaniel the Prospect Wood.
Another huge win for the Prospect.
Nathaniel Wood getting it done in a very big way. No longer the Prospect. He's been in the UFC now for 11 fights. He's back in the Octagon tomorrow in London. Had a trilogy right there of Nathaniel Wood knockouts. And remember, Cage Warriors, they were doing the trilogy back during the COVID times. 3 events, one after another. We're sticking with that vibe. Just got 3 in a row from Nathaniel Wood. Now 3 in a row from other champions in Cage Warriors that are going to be back in action tomorrow. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some work. We're going to start with the last Pirate right now. He had Cage Warriors gold. We'll get into it. Let's go. You're watching a preview of the stars of UFC London from UFC Fight Pass.
It's a 50 veteran record of Morgan Charrier. 10-7 is Terry Goodwin, but most of those losses coming, of course, at higher weight classes, and both men prolific finishers. Let's throw it to our MC in the cage for one last time, Mr. Hal Chaplin, to get this one underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at your main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the vacant Cage Warriors Featherweight World Title, brought to you by Apex Fightwear. Your judges at cage side when the action begins: Mr. Dara Ransom, Mr. John Hand, and Mr. Paul Barton. Your diligent referee in the middle, Mr. Mark Goddard. And now, to those in attendance at cage side and the millions tuning in around the globe, let's throw some leather! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. Official weight, 145 pounds even. He is fighting out of Redcar in England and brings with him to the cage a professional record of 10 wins with 7 defeats. Introducing Perry, the Predator Goodwin. Standing opposite him in the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall. Official weight, 143.9 pounds. He is fighting out of Monté-la-Jolie in France and brings into the cage a professional record of 15 wins, 7 defeats and 1 draw. Introducing to you, Morgan, the last pirate, shall we air?
Okay, gents, you understand the rules you fight under. Listen to me at all times. Keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch, do it now. God bless.
Touch of gloves as referee Mark Goddard gives the final instructions. Morgan Charrier in the black, Perry Goodwin in the white and black. 5-minute rounds if they need them in the Cage Warriors featherweight division for the big gold belt. Perry Goodwin shadow boxing throughout the introductions there. Stop shadow boxing all day. A real ball of pent-up energy as the Predator today. Just keen to get in the cage, get the job done and take that title back to the north of England with him.
Yeah, Perry definitely looking the bigger of the two. Not sure if that will play into it after 5 rounds, potentially 5 rounds. You never know, holding a bit more muscle mass could affect him.
He's done an incredible job to get back in shape. You know, he told us today what a struggle this year's been for him, and when gyms were closed in the UK, he really fell out of his routine and ate a lot, drank a lot, and ended up close to 90 kilos at one point this year. So to get back into fighting shape, to take on Morgan Charrier is certainly an achievement. Charrier looking for the fizzing right hand there. Goodwin throwing back. 10 moments in the early offing, and we've seen both of these guys throw with incredible power. Think back to the time Goodwin stopped Alexander Jakobsen dead with that counter shot. You know, we've seen him in against big guys, and you know he can still crack against the big fellas too. Didn't look underpowered at higher weight divisions, and he does bring that power down with him to featherweight.
Charrier really hacking away at that lead left leg early on.
Cage Warriors President Graham Boylan talked about the movement of Goodwin. He does zip around the cage, so perhaps the game plan from Charrier to take the wheels out from under his opponent early.
Nasty leg kick there. Charrier's movement very, very fluid, very fast, able to get within range, strike, and then get well without outside of range for any counter.
The corner of Goodwin calling for the man to touch Charrier's hands before he throws that initial shot, just to judge his distance there, perhaps. Tense moments here in the early offing in York Hall. Lead left hook from Goodwin, just a couple of inches too short. Oh, both men landing there. Charrier looked to stagger his opponent briefly, I think, down. Goodwin made of stern stuff though. But those lead leg kicks starting to take effect. Charrier looking to unbalance his man with the lead leg kick and then follow up with the hooks behind it.
This is better. This is better. That's it. That's first every time. There you
Here's
go.
the
That's it.
encouragement from the corner of Perry Goodwin as he gets those feints and fakes to work. But it's Charrier with the lead leg kick again.
Feel your power. That's it, Perry. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Nice tip to the body there from Morgan Charrier. The left hook from Goodwin lands. Dances back out of range. Charrier with the counter that time. Big right hand from Charrier there. And he's marked Goodwin up on the left side of the face down.
Really short, then go. 40 seconds, Perry.
You see the swelling on the left cheek of Perry Goodwin there from those early shots from Morgan Charrier.
That's it, Perry. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep busy. That's Perry. Keep busy, Perry.
Charrier was, as we know, a huge star in his home country of France, a big personality on YouTube, social media influencer, has a massive fan base behind him. If you want to find out how big Morgan Charrier's fan base is, just tweet anything in support of one of his opponents and the army will soon be on you. Or the Navy, should I say, in support of the last pirate. Round one in the books, and yeah, that one went quickly down. Plenty of action. Let's look at some of the kicks early on here from Morgan Charrier. Beautiful stuff in combination there, attacking both sides of the leg. And a nice set of hooks there from Morgan Charrier, and down, as we say, Perry Goodwin wearing a little bit of damage now.
Yeah, towards the end of that round there, Charrier definitely managing to find his range, finishing that round pretty damn strong.
Goodwin looking happy with his performance despite that welt. Round 2 of 5 for the Cage Warriors featherweight title if they need them. Morgan Charrier, Perry Goodwin here in York Hall in England. An iconic venue, played host to so many great boxing matches and now MMA over the years, and that's an unfortunate low blow there on the part of Morgan Charrier, and that seemed to be a pretty solid one down.
Yeah, that literally silenced the whole building.
Let's take a quick look at that. Yeah, straight across the front of the cup, and you know, Charrier looking to kick the inside of the leg there, but just went up a little bit too high. Referee Mark Goddard there just telling Perry Goodwin to take his time. A few deep breaths there from Goodwin. Always good to make the old count.
I was waiting to see when the camera angle would change there. How much we want to watch a man shake his groin.
Charrier just taking a moment here, nonplussed. Going to keep his head in the game. Goodwin gives him the nod and offers the hand, clearly happy that there was no bad intentions behind that one.
It's actually quite good to see a guy take a bit more of a rest. So often you see these fighters want to get straight back in and end up continuing to fight with still a little bit of an injury there. Or
a lot of feints and fakes from Goodwin here. He was teasing the sliding back elbow there. Nice inside leg kick from Goodwin now. Throws throws that big heater of a left hand. Charrier looking for an opening to shoot back.
You see the power from the strikes by Goodwin, but not being able to land any.
Yeah, there's a real whistle on the hooks from Goodwin when he doesn't land. Can't imagine what the crack when he does will sound like.
So far, the distance and movement of Charrier just... I'm not sure if he's been touched at all.
Goodwin's clearly trying to bait his man in here, and you know, when you talk about the guy with the power of Goodwin, it does only take one. Charrier more of a combination striker himself. Trying to chew up that lead leg of Goodwin once again. Oh, Goodwin landing a nice combination there. Charrier straight back on him though. Oh, Goodwin catches his man. Takes another one to the eye though. Oh, big kicks from Morgan Charrier. 3 in a row and a pair of huge hooks. Goodwin trips him down, but Charrier with a big slam right in front of us at the commentary position now. Goodwin looking for a guillotine here perhaps, Dan.
Yeah, nice exchange there. Really nice takedown. A lot of power shown there by the Frenchman. Guillotine attempt, but not from a great position here in half guard. We see Charrier on top in half guard now. Interesting to see whether he decides to try and pursue this on the ground or try and get back to the feet from here. It's actually a pretty strong position. He can take an over-under, lock his arms very, very tight. But it looks like he's not really moving at all. You know, that is a strategy. You don't want to try and escape and get back to the feet. You lock everything down and wait for the referee to stand him up for you.
Yeah, you heard referee Mark Goddard there asking Charrier to stay busy.
Yeah, Goodwin trying to work a little bit more from underneath here. Looks like he's going for a deep half-guard position. Could possibly give him the opportunity to sweep from here, but Charrier keeping his hips backwards. He doesn't want to allow Goodwin to get underneath him. I want to see Charrier try and get past his legs, though, see what he's like on the ground.
Nice elbow from Goodwin there.
Yeah, Goodwin.
And that's forced Morgan Charrier to posture up a little bit.
Well, that's it. And also you can see the left leg of Goodwin. He's using at a knee shield, trying to keep that distance. And what he did there was he was using that shin to keep the distance, and then he released that shin, and that gave him that space to cut in and try and get to a deep half guard.
Charrier trying to clasp the hands for a choke here, Dan.
Yeah, what he wants to look to do is to... Well, you can use that palm-to-palm connection around that arm and neck to try and get some upper body control and try and get out of that half-guard position. But Perry actually doing a really good job of transitioning to a good half-guard sweep position. Unfortunately, he let go of the half-guard, meaning that Charrier could transition. Now he's on the back here. If Charrier wants to get back to the feet, this is the position to do so. The only thing that is keeping these two people connected is Charrier deciding to hold on to the back. So you know, if he stays in this position, it's because he wants to be on the ground, because if he didn't want to be on the ground, he could stand up quite easily from here.
50 seconds.
50 seconds left in the round. Is it long enough for Morgan Charrier to do something big here? Can Goodwin survive?
There we go, one hook coming in here. Is he going to go for the back? Is he going to try and get that second hook in? Perry's in a pretty good position. His back is kind of on the fence there to stop Charrier from being able to circle around to the back. Charrier is going to a over-under here. 25 seconds left in this round. Probably not going to be enough time. He does manage to get that second hook in. He's deciding the strike from here, possibly to open up the neck. Only 30 seconds left. Nicely done by Perry to get to the feet and shrug Charrier off of that position.
Had to eat a few shots to get it though. Did Perry Goodwin. Good work from Morgan Charrier at the end of that round, and a nice shot from Goodwin to put an exclamation point on it.
Yeah, very nice round, some nice ground transitions there.
Yeah, much better round for the last pirate there. Let's take a look at some of his handiwork. Well, it's Perry Goodwin kicking things off with a nice set of hooks in combination. Charrier constantly stalking him though, and look at the leg kicks here from Morgan Charrier. 3 hard kicks in a row. And then it was a right hand, left hook combination and a big takedown.
Yeah, that was actually really nice. You know, Perry managed to catch the leg. Sherrier fell to his back. He could have tried to stand up, but it probably would have put him in a worse position, so decided to go for the takedown. This is towards the end of the round here. He did manage to look pretty good on the ground, actually, eventually getting the back with the hooks. Probably was a good idea to try and strike from there, as he probably wouldn't have had enough time to go for the submission if he looked for it. So nice finish to the round there for the Frenchman.
The legion of fans behind the last Pirate will be happy with his performance in that second round. He's got 3 more between him and the Cage Warriors featherweight title. He's got 3 more rounds of Perry Goodwin between him and the Cage Warriors title. Goodwin has made his intentions clear all week. He's taking that belt home to Redcar. Goodwin has been happy to circle around the outside of the cage for the majority of the fight so far, Dan.
Yeah, Sherrier definitely keeping Perry very close to the fence, keeping that pressure up the entire time.
Sherrier still looking to strike on the counter here.
Yeah, his
Looking for that lead leg.
His ability to move out of range and then get within range to strike is super impressive. Look at that. So I'm saying he closes the distance so quickly, and then by the time Perry has a chance to hit back, he's already gone.
Yeah, that was a big shot from Sherrier, and he's cut Perry Goodwin above the left eye now, or just to the side of the left eye. Goodwin barreling forward though. Not an ideal spot for that cut, and it's really leaking now. And Goodwin has had a fire lit inside him. Lands a nice right hand. Sherrier firing back, great head movement to get out of the way of the return fire. And look for Sherrier now to kick out that lead leg and land the right hand. Goodwin barreling forward. And that blood on the chest of Goodwin, like a red rag to a bull. Oh, Sherrier with the body shot! And it's over! Unbelievable! Bonjour, Rodney! The Frenchman's done it! What a shot from Morgan Sherrier! A left hook to the body. Puts Perry Goodwin away in the 3rd round. I'm not sure I want to have another look at this body shot finish, but my goodness, we're going to. Oh, a rib roaster. Yeah, Morgan Sherrier, the last Pirate, with an incredible knockout. Let's take another look, Dan. I mean, they don't get much cleaner than that, right?
Well, that was it. You know, no follow-up shots were necessary. As soon as that landed, Goodwin dropped down, fetal position, it was game over. What a perfectly timed, perfectly placed body shot there.
I mean, I say they don't get much cleaner than that, but that was pure filth. Morgan Sherrier, the real deal. Let's take a look at this in super slow-mo. Wow. And all credit to Perry Goodwin, one of the toughest guys you'll ever see compete in Cage Warriors, in European MMA, anywhere else. A real grinder, a real grafter, and a real showman. But unfortunately, came up short tonight against the last Pirate, Morgan Sherrier. Vive la France! They've got a new Cage Warriors champion. Here's our MC, Mr. Hal Chaplin, to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Mr. Mark Goddard, calls a stop to this contest after 1 minute and 55 seconds of round number 3, declaring your winner by way of knockout and the new Cage Warriors featherweight world champion in the red corner, Morgan, the last Pirate, Sherrier.
Well, Dan, the last Pirate takes home his first world title, and he does so in style. What a performance from the Frenchman. Slightly taller as the champ at 5'10" to Hendon's 5'8". Similar records, 8-1 versus 6-1. Both men with 3 finishes. What a title fight we have here. The cap off Cage Warriors 134. Mr. Hal Chaplin, please get this one underway.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at your main event of the evening. 5 rounds for the Cage Warriors Featherweight World Title, brought to you by Apex Fightwear. Your judges at cage time when the action begins: Mr. David Lathermy, Mr. Ben Cartledge, and Mr. Rich Mitchell. Your diligent referee in the middle when the action begins, Mr. Mark Goddard. And now, for thousands in attendance at cage side and the millions tuning in around the globe, let's throw some leather! Introducing first, passing out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. Official weight, 145 pounds even. He is fighting out of Sunderland in England and brings into the cage a professional record of 6 wins with 1 defeat. Introducing the challenger, James Hendon. Standing opposite him in the cage, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall. Official weight, 144.5 pounds. He is fighting out of Corby in England and brings into the cage a professional mixed martial arts record of 8 wins with 1 defeat. Introducing the reigning, defending Cage Warriors Featherweight Champion of the World, Jordan the Epidemic Buchanan.
You guys understand the rules. You're fighting the list of me, keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch, do it now. God bless.
Final instructions from referee Mark Goddard. 5 5-minute rounds for the big gold belt in the Cage Warriors featherweight division. The challenger, James Hendon, in the solid long black shorts. The champion, Jordan the Epidemic Vucenic, in the black with white and gold trim. Brad Wharton, Dan Hardy and Daniel Strauss privileged to call the action here from the Indigo. And it's the champion opening his account with a couple of nice jabs.
I'm going to be abandoning my seat in a moment. I can feel it, the tension in this room. You could cut it with a knife. Both these guys standing just outside striking range. That was a hard low kick from Vucenic. Nice feint to follow up, really sharp with that right hand. Nice right hand over the top from Hendon, who closes distance.
Conventional wisdom says Hendon does not want to get into a kickboxing contest here, but he has a lot of power in his hands.
He does, and he has great body shots as well. We'll remember that, the left hook to the body that he landed on Wardy. If he lands that, it can change the direction of this fight entirely. He's really hard double guard, and he's got to be watching. He's leaving his body open as a target when Vucenic steps forward.
Hendon searching for head kicks early. Vucenic pumping out that piston-like jab.
The striking game of Vucenic is very, very high level, very complex. You can see how calculated he is here. Some redness already on the eye of James Hendon, who's taken a couple of those jabs.
Oh, a nice uppercut from Hendon landed though.
Those low kicks are already affecting James Hendon. I can see through that heavy tattooing on his lead leg that there's still already some bruising on the calf muscle. Oh, a nice knee caught by Hendon. Takes him down to the floor.
Great job by Jordan getting back, straight back up to his feet there. And we've already said this is likely where Hendon's going to want the fight. He's going to try and use his powerful upper body control, his wrestling. He wants to get Vucenic on his back.
Fast level change, but great underhooks by Vucenic.
Yeah, beautiful position here. He can connect his hands and try and attack a body lock takedown to try and create some space. Hendon does a good job of getting a hand back on the inside. A nice grip fight in between them now, but Jordan's in a good position if he can circle off to create a bit of space here.
Nice knee to the body there from Hendon, who's using these overhooks well. Nice knee to the body.
Knee to the body from James Hendon there.
And another one. Look how he's using these overhooks. It's a very common, comfortable position for judokas in MMA. I remember Judo Jimmy in his early days at Cage Warriors using these overhooks really well to control his opponent. Oh, look at this defense from Vucenic. Gets himself off the fence with a little bit of space.
Great work from the champion to separate there. And they go straight back to work, center of the cage. The straight shots being fired out from Vucenic. The challenger looking to loop around.
Again, catches the knee, does Hendon. Runs the pipe, gets the single leg, but Vucenic scrambles.
Yeah, Hendon straight on the back here. Vucenic trying to turn in. He's doing a good job. He's facing away from that cage wall. He's going to try and use that fence to try and stop Hendon from coming round to the back. It's going to be interesting now to see what Hendon does with that right leg. How is he going to try and control this position? He's got 90 seconds left of the round. This isn't a bad position to be in. So he can try and expose a little bit more of Vucenic's back. Possibly he can try and get round and actually start to get a possible back attack and submission attempt from here. There we go, a bit more of the back exposed. There we go, dragging him away from the fence. This is what he wants.
He's going to chop the foot there to drag him.
Yeah, this is classic judo stuff where you're always trying to attack that leg at any opportunity. Take away your opponent's ability to stand. There you go, kicking it away again. Trying to transition straight off of that leg kick. And you're kicking the leg away straight into the back, but Vucenic doing a great job of stopping that easy entry.
Strong knee there. Beautiful knees to the thighs from Hendon, who's a real problem in this position. See him right in his corner as well, in front of Andrew Fisher. Beautiful takedown.
Hendon doing some good work here, and you see a little thumbs up from Jordan Vucenic to his corner, but this is exactly where James Hendon wants this fight.
Now from this position, there's not a lot left to go of this round, but from this position, he may actually look to give up this back position and try and drag Jordan backwards into a half-guard position where he can try and strike. This is an awkward position now. You know, he is dominating from this back position, from this back clinch, but Jordan's doing a great job of stopping him from being able to advance and not allowing him to get to a position where he can really strike.
Final 10 seconds of the first round. Vucenic looking comfortable there, but you've got to believe this is going to do wonders for the confidence of James Hendon heading into the second frame. Jordan Vucenic looking very confident there still as he walks back to the corner. And as we see the replays there, this is where Hendon was able to catch that kick and affect his takedown.
Yeah, he was able to do this twice, catching 2 kicks and using it to set up clinch position, using it to set up that clinch attack. And that may lead to Jordan maybe thinking twice about throwing kicks for the remainder of this fight.
These knees from overhooks are really nice. This is something that people will be practicing this week coming in the gym. Not very often that you see people using overhooks so effectively. And you're going to see here in a moment where he catches the second kick that you were talking about there, Dan. Catches what is almost like a flying knee that he hooks underneath, runs the pipe immediately, and then chases Vucenic across, chopping away at that base foot, and then the double bind on the leg that he's using to control and weight into his opponent.
Yeah, and
great first round.
Once he got onto that back position, it was very, very dominant from there.
Absolutely. And he had his man right in the corner, Andrew Fisher, head coach of the Fish Tank, screaming instructions, and you've got to think that's where Hendon's going to want to take the fight back to.
Hendon's leaving his head on the center line with these kicks. He's got to be careful that Vucenic doesn't trade him. Oh, nice shots over the top from the challenger Hendon, who definitely has confidence now. He knows he can get the fight to the floor with a little persistence and maybe keep it there.
There's a good body shot from Vucenic though, varying up those angles of attack, and it's Vucenic looking for a takedown.
Very, very interesting here.
On a guillotine, though, that's threatened enough to make Vucenic bail out. Now he's defending knees to the head.
Yeah, that guillotine position isn't super tight at the moment. You can see Vucenic starting to bring that left arm out. He doesn't want to allow Hendon to get his hand into a strong position. Nicely done there.
Oh, look at this.
Straight onto the back here. I mean, beautiful transition, catching a head and arm onto the back position. The question from here, does Hendon try and jump backwards? This is a common mistake that people make. They try and throw himself backwards. He wants to try and use the fence to drag and turn the angle on his opponent. You know, this is a fantastic position.
Vucenic has the body triangle.
Oh, he's going for it. That is around the face. But you can still, what we call the mandible strangle. He can lock off here, and this looks strong. He's desperately trying to strip that grip, which is exactly what you should be doing when someone's attacking that rear naked choke. But the position is strong. It's not a bad spot.
The champion Jordan Vucenic defends in front of his crowd.
Unbelievable! Jordan Vucenic is still the Cage Warriors featherweight champion of the world.
What a performance there from Jordan Vucenic. Really slick, really calm, and surprised us with that takedown attempt in the second round. He did exactly the same thing to Paul Hughes, if you remember. Clamped onto the body lock, attacked the arm triangle, then climbed up the back to attack a rear naked choke.
That's it, what a beautiful sequence there. Off of the striking range was able to come in, cut the angle, take a head and arm in the standing position, immediately jumped onto the back with both hooks in. Hendon staggered around wondering what to do, but Vucenic locks up a body triangle and then just allows him to attack. So many people make the mistake of trying to stay standing thinking it's a better position, but then it takes away your mobility with the leg to try and defend the position properly. And this is what happens, you rely purely on your upper body to defend against the choke, and someone as dangerous on the back as Vucenic is able to sink it under the neck, and it's all over. Beautiful transitions there, great performance.
Well, if the roof hadn't already been blown off this place a couple of weeks ago, I'd say that Jordan Vucenic's fans just managed to do it here tonight. What a first defense, returning after a year on the sidelines, having dealt with numerous injuries and setbacks. Jordan Vucenic captures the title. And Dan, talk us through some of the replays here. Well, he takes the back beautifully.
Yeah, he takes the back fantastically, and then he switches up into a body triangle that puts more weight through the opponent. It starts to crush the ribs. It hinders the breathing, and also, here we go, the switch to the body triangle. Hendon tries to stay up, but he's not using the fence. The only advantage of being standing when you're defending the choke is using the fence to try and drag your man off. By the time he does it, it's already too late, and then it's just about grip fight, and the forearm comes underneath the neck, and it's all done. I can tell you one thing, the biggest point here is that Vucenic didn't want another decision, and definitely not a split decision. He wanted the finish, and he got that finish.
And Dan, was there anything that James Hendon could have realistically done at that point?
At that point, no, it's all over. When someone's in that position, forearm underneath the neck. I mean, Hendon defended the hand fighting very well. He was trying to strip. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to pull off the choking arm. No, you actually want to pull off the arm that you're locking off on, because that's what's anchoring the choking arm into place. The problem is, he didn't do what he needed to do early enough. Very early in that, he should have either ran to the fence and tried to use it to scrape him off, or go onto his back and try and turn into face his opponent.
Well, we're just taking one final look at this rear naked choke. Jordan Vucenic, the man known for his Muay Thai, the man known for his boxing and his striking game, comes out and gets a rear naked choke submission.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds for the vacant Cage Warriors Women's Flyweight title, brought to you by ISO Sport. Scoring this fight, our 3 cage-side judges are Ben Cartledge, David Letherby and Mark Collette. And when the action begins, the referee in charge, Mr. Mark Goddard. Coming live from the Echo Arena in Liverpool, England, and be watched around the world on UFC Fight Pass. This is Cage Warriors 90. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter with a professional record of 4 wins and 1 loss, 1 draw. Standing 5 feet 4 inches tall, she weighed in a shade over 123 pounds. Fighting out of Southampton, England, Bryony Killer B Tyrrell. And introducing her opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a striker and grappler with a professional record of 6 wins and 1 loss. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall and weighed in exactly on the limit of 125 pounds. She proudly fights as Liverpool's own Meatball Molly McCann.
Hey girls, you understand the rules you're fighting under. Listen to me at all times, keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Let's do it.
They are, yes.
Apologies for the technical difficulties again there. McCann, centre of the cage, slinging heavy leather at Bryony Tyrrell.
Good catch of the kick. I think McCann staying nice and light on her feet here. She's getting in, she's getting out. She's not getting too dragged down in this. Long way to go in 5-5s.
Tyrrell taking her time here. She seems calm in the face of what's an incredibly partisan crowd here. Left hand gets through from McCann.
Yeah, I like the question mark kick over the top. Tyrrell's doing a good job of staying out of the way here, good circling. But you do feel like McCann is just getting that little bit closer every time.
McCann throwing the left hand here. She's got heat on both those fists. Oh, the
big
left hands again. It's a looping shot though.
It is. I mean, Tyrrell's got her guard up, but you know, a shot like that sometimes just finds its way over the top. And you see, though, she's got Tyrrell fainting here. Every little twitch, every little turn of a shoulder, a flick of a wrist. She's got Tyrrell guessing and just changing her breathing pattern every single time.
And again, with the straight left this time, McCann. She's catching the kicks and launching counters in short. Tyrrell has to close the distance to implement her own style, Josh, but there's going to come a point across 5-minute rounds that she gets caught coming in by one of these shots if she doesn't change her angle of attack or level of attack here, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. It could just be a case of, you know, once one of these fighters figures the other out, you know, it's a bad night for the other, and McCann is swinging big here, but immediately getting out. You know, I like that. She didn't stay inside to get hit. She landed what she thought were good shots and then circled out.
And we've all heard the tales of McCann having to prove herself in the world of MMA, even to get through the door of MMA gyms, but one sparring session later, nobody's questioning the hands of Molly McCann.
Yeah, catching the kick is good, but here we go. This is the first tie-up that these ladies have had in any kind of grappling exchange. It's a good body lock for Tyrrell here. bringing some knees in. I mean, you know, double unders around. She's got a good wrist grab. It's a very, very strong clinch position for her. Question is, you know, how strong is McCann? And there we go, showing exactly that easy break to separate the distance.
McCann never been submitted. Tough to submit someone when they're slinging heavy leather, as McCann is wont to do, and she's talking to Terrell in here.
Yeah, she's starting to get in her head now. She's trying to play some mind games.
Nice kick to the body from Terrell.
Yeah, it was
McCann
all
slightly marked up there on the right side, Josh.
Yeah, it was a lot of quad and not a whole lot of whipping the hip across, but, you know, they score, they do damage, they start winding your opponent. Terrell's still very much in this one, but it's an excellent first round for Molly McCann.
Yeah, I've seen McCann put people flat on their backs with a single shot, so credit to the chin of Terrell here. She's taken a few so far. A nice knee from the Killer Bee up the centre, but McCann pumping that left hand in. The final 10 seconds of the first round here, Josh.
Yeah, the knees were an excellent tactic for Terrell, and she's done a good job of weathering the storm, seeing out this first round. I'm sure that was the first goal, was if you can't put her away, get through that first 5, start taking this one a bit deeper.
5 minutes of fast and furious action here at Cage Warriors 90. A clear round from McCann, you'd have to think, Josh, as we look back at some of the action.
Yeah, this was McCann getting inside, throwing big shots. You know, not all of them landing. I don't think she ever really caught Terrell particularly flush, but she's done enough with scuffing and grazing shots. There you go, that's a good jab. The power punch is not landing. Met that's a takedown attempt with a heavy shoulder. Really nice way of perceiving that level change from McCann.
But Josh, if you're in the corner of Bryony Terrell, what's the advice here? What does she need to do differently in round 2?
I think maybe change that front kick up. You're trying to keep the range, keep the distance, turn it into a teep or, you know, or a big rear leg front kick, rear leg kick. Just try and press McCann back a little bit, hit her in the midsection, try and tire her out some more.
Well, a very similar scenario as it was during Paddy Pimblett's fight that kicked off our main card. Every seat sold, none being used. The echoes on its feet. The cheering for McCann here. But Bryony Terrell with a big smile on her face, having fun in there. And someone who enjoys violence this much is definitely a force to be reckoned with, Josh.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really mention it in the walkouts, but, you know, Terrell is a nurse in the hematology department by day, and she often says, you know, most of her colleagues can't believe that she does this for fun on the weekends, but, you know, what a stage for her here, and she's staying in this one with some good kicks. They are just slightly less powerful shots than what McCann is putting together, though.
Well, there aren't many women at flyweight who hit with the accuracy and power of McCann.
Yeah, McCann's always thrown in really good volume as well. That's the other defining factor. Is it's just, you know, it's not just intensity of shots. It's the simple amount. And here she goes, pretending like she's winding up her backhand.
Surely must have been saying that the McCann count worked on catching that kick and then launching the big hook as a counter to it.
That's it. You know, that to me is, oh!
McCann pouncing here. Big hooks. Terrell covering up, trying to fight back.
Yeah, Terrell's trying to tie up.
Losing everything, and it's over. McCann looks like she can't believe it, but I think she knew it all along. Molly McCann is the new Cage Warriors Women's Flyweight Champion of the World.
You know, she didn't back away when she got the chance on that flurry. She really went after her. She did the damage. And what Mark Goddard would have seen is, although we saw Terrell reaching out to try and grab the head, he will have seen Bryony Terrell turn her eyes away and look away from the incoming shots. And that is absolutely why he has done the right thing and stepped in there. Before, that could have got a lot worse.
I think when it's got to the stage of the fighters turning away from punches, you've got to invoke the intelligent defense clause, and that's something Mark Goddard puts to good use perfectly there. Let's see how it all started. It was a left, and then a flurry of shots from McCann.
You did start to get the sense it was just a matter of time, and there you go, Goddard thinks about stopping it, and then as soon as Terrell turns away and is no longer anticipating those incoming shots, she's putting herself in danger and forcing the stoppage.
What a performance from Molly McCann. She's done it. She's the new Cage Warriors Women's Flyweight Champion, just as she said she would be. A dream that started all those years ago when she won an amateur fight here on Cage Warriors. Now she's the queen of the mountain, and tonight she's the queen of Liverpool. McCann celebrating with the crowd here in Liverpool. I'm not 100% sure who that is with Molly. Likely a family member, I believe. And you can see how much this means to this young lady from Liverpool. I spoke to her at the weigh-ins yesterday. She was wearing her late father's wedding ring, which her mum had given to her. She wanted to do this for him. She wanted to do this for her family, her friends, and her fans. And boy, is she going to have some more of those in the morning, Josh. Well, the party started when Paddy Pimblett submitted Alexis Savidis, and it's not going to stop till the early hours of Sunday morning. What a moment, what a night here at Cage Warriors 80. We're going to throw this one to our MC, Andy Friedlander, and he'll make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute and 32 seconds of round number 2, declaring the winner by TKO, a new Cage Warriors Flyweight Champion, Meatball Molly McCann.
I'm here with the first ever Cage Warriors Women's Flyweight World Champion. How does that sound?
It sounds like chocolate on a weight cut.
Give us your thoughts on the fight, Molly. It looked like feeling out that first round, and then in the second, when you went for it, you really went for it.
What I'd just like to say is, everyone knows I've got aggression and will to win. That isn't how you beat Bryony Tyrell. She's smart, she's got good grappling and good game work and ground and pound. Me and my team have spent the last 6 months developing me, not rushing, not overcommitting, taking me time, and I am not going to be holding this belt if it weren't for everyone in this cage. I swear to God, everyone who's here supporting me. This is a female, nearly swore, female headline in an arena. You tell me who does that?
Not many people. There was some talk in the run-up up to the fight. She came and asked for this fight. She asked to get in here with you.
Be careful what you wish for, Cookie.
So that answers that question. What's next for you? Because this is a huge belt. It's a huge honor to hold. And you up for defending it?
I'm up for going out with everyone to the beer cellar. I want everyone to come and get a picture with me in this belt. September 1st we come back. April Paddy goes and robs the belt off some Viking. Then we both come back and defend in September. How about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. Oh.
Look, it takes a dancing partner to do this, so please, a Scouse round of applause for Bryony Tyrell. That's not Scouse, come on!
Scousers rule the world, eh?
Scousers rule the world!
We rule the world!
Ladies and gentlemen,
your world champion, Meatball Molly McCann.
Well, there she is, Meatball Molly McCann. You can see her in action coming up tomorrow in London, all part of UFC London. It's going down, and there's other things going on, too. We got a whole bunch of things for you. Had Cage Warriors early today. Shooto Brazil actually on a little bit. Well, actually, it's on right now over on UFC Fight Pass. So when you get done with this, you want more MMA action, head over to UFC Fight Pass. LFA tomorrow, and then, of course, Fury FC rounds out the weekend. You don't have UFC Fight Pass? What are you doing? Thought you were hardcore. You're watching this right now. Stop being a casual. Sign up. We got a pretty good deal for you right now. 35% off the annual plan. That's just $61.99 for 12 months of UFC Fight Pass. Get everything you need if you truly are a hardcore. World's largest combat sports library, live events each and every week. I'm on there 171 odd times, so you can watch me. That's not why you would tune in or be a Fight Pass subscriber, but just throwing it out there. It is there. All right, UFC hits London tomorrow. Main event, Leon Rocky Edwards takes on Sean Brady. It's going to be a phenomenal night of action. And we also got some other stuff going on in the co-main event. Jan Blachowicz, he's back in action. You know, we might as well do a bit of a co-main preview and then finish up with two other particulars on the card. So let's do that. I'm TJ DeSantis. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that fun business. Say what's up. Say hi. Come back next time I'm here. Hang out in the chat. You're a chatty bunch. I enjoy mixing it up with you. So, but here's your co-main event preview. And, yeah, enjoy the fights.
My 2024 was very long, very tough. I have 2 surgeries, physiotherapy, rehabilitation, but finally the legendary Polish power is back again. I'm still one of the best in the world, but I know that I can be the best. I just need to remind the people who am I, and soon I will do it.
I always had the belief in myself, the faith. I know where I'm going to be. I know that at some point very soon I will reign king. This is my chance to propel myself to the level that I know that I can be. And a win against Jan will put me into title contention.
All right, here is the Auckland, New Zealand native Carlos Alberg, crowd rep of City Kickboxing.
This man is really something special. He is the dark horse of this division. That left hook is his moneymaker. It is a special, God-given talent.
Oh! Massive left hook for
my
Alberg.
goodness.
And now another one. How about Black Jag? Carlos Alberg. Stop me, baby. Keep an eye on Carlos Alberg. This man has future champion written all over him.
Alberg finds the mark and folds Alonzo Menefield.
He can put anybody out with that left hand.
Anybody in that top 10, I'll destroy anybody in my way.
He's a good fighter, good kickboxer. He's got like a 7-win streak, and I'm happy that I'm gonna be the person who's gonna stop him.
Jan Blachowicz is uniquely dangerous. He has ferocious one-punch knockout power.
Oh, big right, Polish power. Jan Blachowicz.
He lands and they go to sleep.
Oh, big left from Jan Blachowicz. He's hurt. Jan Blachowicz has done it.
He's obsessed with becoming the champion of the world again.
He's known for his power. He's known for his grit. But what makes me different is I have speed and agility.
Oh, he hit him with that hook.
Oh, my goodness, it's over.
There comes the stoppage, Carlos Alberg.
Of course, he's much younger than me, but I've got experience. He don't have this experience what I have. I fight with the best in the world.
Oh! That one really bothered Ankalaev.
I see and feel everything inside the octagon, and he don't feel everything yet. But now he gonna feel my fist on his face.
Huge left from Blachowicz. Rock holds out.
One mistake, and it's done.
I'm going to go in there and I'm going to look to put him out in the first round. When the cage is closed, Jan is going to realize the Super Saiyan 1 power.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This Kung Fu style fighter stands 6'3", weighed in 183.3 pounds. He holds a professional record, 9 wins, 3 defeats, with 5 wins coming by way of knockout, 4 via submission. training out of Phalanx MMA and fighting out of Fort Worth, Texas, Kevin Trailblazer Holland. His opponent across the octagon, fighting out of the red corner, is a freestyle fighter standing 6'1", weighed in 185.5 pounds. He holds a professional record, 15 wins, 1 defeat, with 6 wins coming by way of knockout, 4 via submission. Training out of UFM Agama Fight Team and fighting out of Tupelo, Mississippi, Grady Sue Hurley. Your referee is Mike England.
All right, fellas, I gave you instructions in the dressing room. You got any questions, sir?
Oh, no more questions.
You got any questions, sir? No, sir. Touch them up right there. God bless you. Come out fighting.
Yes, sir.
As even as a fight as you can get. Final odds from MMAOddsBreaker.com and Nick Kalikas. Both fighters come in at a -120. We are set to go here in the LFA middleweight division. Kevin Holland in the gray shorts and Grady Hurley in the white. MMA debut for Grady Hurley. Kevin Holland 0-1 in the promotion so far.
Holland knowing he wants to stay out that cage with Grady.
Grady just at 36 years old, knows the clock's ticking, excited to fight a guy who he said is just the future of the sport. His game plan was to use his size and strength against him.
This is where he needs to keep the fight if it's not on the ground. Because Holland is very, very fast with his strikes.
Stop, you all right? All right, let's go. Okay. Be careful now.
And Holland, after 2 disappointing showings on Access TV, vowed to show his true self tonight. It's his 4th fight of 2017 already. But again, this one at 185. And hey, give him credit. He took a fight on 2 days' notice against Rafael Lovato Jr.
Right, absolutely. And he stuck Lovato a little bit with some good shots in that fight.
Gave him a little trouble for sure.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful.
What a shot from Kevin Holland.
Ridiculous.
Drops Grady Hurley. And that is all. Just like that, the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland, ends this fight.
This young man is exciting, man. I'm telling you. Throw a flying knee from that close. He's dangerous.
Just caught Grady Hurley.
That looked like Jose Pele Landy type stuff.
Unbelievable, Kevin Holland.
Good job, good job.
Well, if that is his true self, we are going to see a lot of Kevin Holland here. Came in on the bubble of the Access TV Fights rankings. Might slip in after that performance. Grady Hurley gives us a thumbs up. Good to see. Looks like he's got all his teeth still intact.
Were they checking for a broken jaw? Lands solid on the jaw. And then look at him change direction and spin out of there. Very, very smart Kevin Holland here, and right on top of him with the shots. The referee really doesn't have much of a choice here.
No, good call.
Here it is, watch. Knees, boom, lands, spins right away. Very good. Didn't hang out to get pushed back against the cage again. Oh, I like that camera work.
Beautiful shot from our crew here in Branson. Nice hustle. You guys on the floor too. Kevin Holland addresses the camera. Let's make it official and return to Mike Kendall.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee Mike England calls a stop to the fight in 1 minute, 24 seconds into the first round for your winner by TKO, Kevin Trailblazer Holland.
Tonight is the night we make history, and tonight is here. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the main event of the evening. This main event is scheduled for 4 5-minute rounds for the CFFC Welterweight Championship of the World. If there's a draw after 4 rounds, there will be a 5th round sudden death round. This bout has been sponsored by Cage Fury Fighting Championships and is sponsored by Alienware. Now, standing to my right, fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 170.5 pounds, fighting for Revolution MMA out of Inman, South Carolina, Saraceno. standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, weighing in at 169.7 pounds, fighting for Rami Elite Semper Fi MMA and Renzo Gracie out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Sean Brady!
We're giving your instructions. Any questions? Touch gloves now if you like. Let's fight.
Referee in charge of the action once the bell rings, Keith Peterson.
All right, so it'll be Saraceno, taller of the two, black tights, against Sean Brady, the upstart, 5-0, 24-year-old out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Red trunks, they'll touch him up. Waterweight title on the line. Keith Peterson, referee in charge of the chaos in the cage. Rich Quinones alongside Brian Palico. Do not blink, don't get up.
The hook there landed. Tanner, great interview, Rich, great personality. Nice
Inside leg kick by Brady. See if Tanner tries to use his height to his advantage. Good takedown early on.
I can already tell you, Brady looks a pinch more precise.
Slater for 4-5's already starting to rain down. Some hammer fist.
Not sure Tanner's...
Oh, Yeoman like work already early on. He's got his hooks in.
This is not
Are you
good.
kidding me? He's got his hooks in early on.
This is not good.
He's got his hooks in early on. He's not like a great job by Tanner. Great job.
That could have been ugly right there. And not a traditional defense either. That is not the traditional defense, but it worked for him. So.
And again, Slater for 4-5's potential for that 1 minute round. And we'll also kind of keep an eye out for, with some of these takedowns, palms touching the mat, the canvas. Hopefully we get an opportunity to highlight that as well. Something a little different.
Really guys, kind of sweeping the whole MMA path, if you will. There's that hook again. He kind of does a short hooker where he does the jab and then turns into a hook.
Good catch by Tanner.
There's a little takedown
now a little
there.
low reversal, exactly. Presses up Brady against the cage.
And this is exactly where it could happen, right here, Rich. If that hand goes down on the mat, you're not allowed to knee the head or anything. But if that hand comes up, you can knee.
Something that bears worth watching.
Nice knee there by Tanner.
Another knee by Brady. They'll exchange knees. Crowd trying to will on Brady early on in this one.
Well, I like what I see out of Tanner. I thought he was done early, kind of folded, but he really is fighting back well. So.
Well, he feels people mistake his ambition for arrogance. He's got a ton of desire. He's a hard worker. And he's looking to really, I don't want to say pull up the upset. He is 4-1. Oh, I think that was an inadvertent poke again, though. I don't know, Brian. He really grabbed his eye quickly.
He's not indicating eye poke. And normally he would be pointing at that, I would think. We got to take a look at that. But
I think he just got caught.
Yeah, that hook.
Brady's going to take advantage of it.
Brady's
try to get his hooks in again.
Lunch boxes there.
Yeah, he does. I'll tell you what, and he's yeoman-like effort, bringing his lunch bag. We talked about it. That's been the theme of the night in South Philly. Blue-collar workers, you got to come and bring it.
Well, Tanner's kind of gotten out of some positions here, but Brady's just having his way.
Kind of fitting for Brady. Works as an auto mechanic during his days back in Swenson Arts Technology High School. After taking up some classes, he decided, you know what, working on cars isn't for me. I want to be a fighter.
Well, he's certainly got the skill set and the team to do that. Tanner's doing well surviving, but he hasn't really done any damage yet, so he's going to have to...
I think that's the right word, surviving. You see the poise and collectiveness,
the coolness
of
choke.
Brady.
Choke here. He's setting up his
he's
choke.
got him in trouble. Oh, I think Tanner actually got himself in more trouble with that, Brian.
And Tanner got hip to it. What Brady does is he sets up a guillotine by leaning in there. He actually baits his opponent in. He's slipping that glove through. Now he steps over to mount. He can finish it from here.
Great shot by the crew. Peterson watching it
Oh,
closely.
there it is!
Oh, my goodness! Sean Brady, are you kidding me? Mercy! The self-proclaimed mama's boy grew up tonight.
Quick work right there. Saw that choke coming all the way, man. What outstanding job. I mean, where does he go from here?
Ring, ring, ring. Hello, pick up. UFC anyone?
Could be an interesting week. I mean, you never know. Maybe a few more, but nonetheless, that is a fight that a lot of people were talking about, and Brady made quick work of it.
Just nasty.
Powerful. Powerful. That clenches that neck like no one else. So, really nice job there by Sean Brady.
You talk about sometimes the will of a fighter against the skill of a fighter. This kid's extremely well-rounded. Absolutely well-rounded.
He's got the heart, the training, the determination. And you know what? I don't believe there's going to be any issue with that reach.
Look at the crowd. The Brady Bunch if you want to deem them or dub them. They're all over the place. You know, it's interesting enough. Self-proclaimed mama's boy, as I alluded to. Girlfriend, friends, always give him support. His mom always cries. You know what, Miss Brady, if you're out there watching us, you're in the stands right now, tears of joy.
Last fight, spinning back fist knockout. So that's showing you that he can do it all. So,
unbelievable.
You know, really
wow,
nice.
Unbelievable. We take a look at quick action, a great finish, as Brady will claim the CFFC welterweight title. What'd you see here, Brian?
And there's that choke where he's locking that up under the neck. He's actually trying to finish him by pushing down right there by creating cross energy, but he's baiting him in, and look, he can't even take it. He was going to maybe roll to his back. That is just a straight guillotine from Mount, and that is the strongest guy in the room doing it to you, man.
Fast and furious. I know you got to go out there, Cage, with the interview. We'll step aside. We'll close out a great night of action. We'll come back with the official particulars between Saraceno and Brady to close out CFFC 65. Welcome back to a sold-out 2300 arena. The crowd got their money's worth this evening. Saraceno, let me do it again. Welcome back to an electric sold-out 2300 arena. The crowd got their money's worth this evening. Sean Brady, your new CFFC welterweight champ. For the particulars, for the final time this evening, back up top to Dr. David Sarnoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout was stopped at 3 minutes and 36 seconds in the first round. Winner by tap out by way of the guillotine, and the new welterweight champion of the world, out of the red corner from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Sean Brady.
UFC fight pass. Step into our world. Step into our world. World. UFC fight pass. Fight pass. Step into our world. World. Step into our world. Live events. Cage. Warriors that elevate FFC. Fury of FFC. APSC. World's largest combat sports library. Pride FC. Strike force worlds. Extreme cage fighting. Boxing Hollywood fight nights. Jiu-jitsu the fight pass. Invitational the FBI Polaris. ABI the Eddie Bravo. Invitational. Log on UFC FightPass.com. Events. Cage Warriors World. FFC, Fury FC, FFC, APFC, combat sports library, PFC, Fight F, Strike Force World, Extreme Cage Fighting, Boxing Hollywood Fight Nights, Jiu-Jitsu the Fight Pass, Invitational, the FBI,